Are we live? It's not saying we're live, but I'm going to guess we're live. Are we live on this Monday evening, April 17th, 2023? The dog thinks I'm talking to him. Nope, not talking to you, buddy. Already gives me a kiss, though. All right. Yeah, he thought I was talking to you, huh? I'm talking to these guys because it is Monday, April 17th, 2023. It's now 9:38 p.m. Central Time, where I'm at. Good Wazzy. This is Wazzy, everybody. Hi, Waz. Oh, now Sprout's jealous, and Caleb is up. All right. You pet one, you gotta pet them all. Sorry about that. Oh, here's Caleb. He needs to get pet too. Yeah, you caught that, huh? Yeah, equal pet in here. Yep, there you go. Lovey-dovey, dubs, huh? All right. So, as you can see, we are continuing in Daniel tonight. Chapter 9 and 10. Tomorrow we're going to finish 11, 12. Only 2 more chapters. A very short book. Short book of prophecy. But also no contradictions tonight. And so it's not going to be a real long night. We're going to go over chapters 9 and 10, which is Daniel praying, and then Gabriel and comes and answers and all that kind of stuff. So that's it. Every chapter's got something interesting, I think. What it all means, I don't know. You know what I mean? I think actually a lot of this prophecy has already come true. Different books. People are looking for it to happen. This book, that book. But I don't know. I think a lot of it's already happened. Destruction of the temple in Jerusalem was a big one. I mean, I don't know if you could get much bigger than that. Destroying the temple in Jerusalem, in Israel. Hey, no, we're not starting all this stuff. No. I just saw one of them wild cats come back and striper when I was looking for food, and I ran out there and gave it food, and I'm thinking that's probably going to be back here in just a minute. It's the first wild cat I've seen since Friday when my cat disappeared. I don't know. Haven't found Bosco yet. I had a dream he was walking up to the house through a little bit of snow. I don't know. Hopefully it comes true. No, you guys, you gotta chill out. Well, you know what? They're all sitting here staring at me, wagging their tails. Which means they're not taking no for an answer. So while I wait for people to come in, let me out, let these guys out. It's gonna be very loud as soon as I stand up. So let me mute this, and I will be right back. All right. They are outside. Rambunctious as all get up. Anyway, had the shock collar on for a couple days on Wazzy, and they're a lot better now, but still get a little bit out of hand as we're going outside there. But I tell you, that thing was a quick attitude adjuster. It worked great. And then I took it off because well, they were fighting, and I held the button down and it collapsed the button, so I had to fix the button on it, and then I really haven't needed to put it back on them, so on him, I should say. So I just pretend I have something in my hand, and I say, "No, no, you don't," and he thinks I have the shocker. So anyway, pretty much trained that fast after almost 2 years of that nonsense. Took 1 day to train him, and I haven't needed to put it back on him. I have two of them with for one remote, and Sprouse was too big. He was too little. His neck's too big. Wouldn't fit around his neck. Even at the biggest setting, it wouldn't fit around his neck. So I thought, he's not even the problem. So let's put one on Wazzy, and it's got a vibrate on it, and it's also got like a tone. It will put out a tone, so you can just have it beep, like beep, and then it just reminds them not to fight or to stop fighting or whatever. And it's also got the vibration thing. So after a day or two, I don't even need that. But I do recommend that. Well, because they were going to kill each other one of these times, fighting every day, like some kind of a pit bull fight. Horrible. Shocked somebody didn't get their face ripped open yet. But so anyway, I don't have to worry about that. At least I don't think so. They've been, he's been perfectly behaved. And all it took, and now I just said, oh, no, you don't. And seems to work. So anyway, that was a good investment. So anyway, so tonight, Danielle, they're starting to come back. So I'm eating the cat's food out there because it's not good for them. Anyway, when they come back, I will pray us in and begin. And like I said, it's not going to be long because it's just 2 chapters, and then tomorrow's the last 2. It's a pretty short book. Here, 1 second. There you go. Archangel Gabriel. I know somebody that just named, well, her daughter just named their kid Gabriel. And they have another kid named, another Bible name, Samson. Not sure they know the whole story of Samson, but anyway. But Samson is a cute boy's name. Well, hey, Grace, how you doing tonight? Welcome in, Shalom. I just saying, a friend of mine, she just had her first 3 grandchildren in like 3 years. 3 grandchildren in 3 years or 4 years. And one of them's named Gabriel, and the other one is named another Bible name. What did I just say it was? Samson. Yeah. Yeah, Samson and Gabriel. And then they got a 3rd kid, too. But anyway, 2 of them have Bible names. Oh, there. See, they're fighting. Well, I almost started a fight. Actually, it's more Sprout now who's kind of being a jerk. Because Wazzy doesn't want to do nothing wrong now. So, I don't know. That color worked really good. I have a nephew named Gabriel, a Noah, a Daniel, and several Davids. Really? Yeah. Bible names are popular. Just think about John. How many Johns were there? Everybody's named John, even John Doe. It was so common, they made it a common example for a common name. It's actually the poster boy for common names. That's cool. Yeah, she had a Samson. Anyway. I don't know if there's really very many cute girl names from the Bible. One girl name is kind of cute is Dinah, but Dinah, had sex with a guy, and then the brothers got mad. I don't know if she got raped or if it didn't seem like it. It seemed like it was seemed like she liked him. And anyway, so it was kind of a bad story. And then the brothers tricked all them herds of people to get circumcised, and then they killed them when they were all recovering. And just what a horrible story. So anyway, Dinah, I'd scratch that one off. Ruth, it's kind of dated. I don't know if anybody would name a little girl Ruth. You think of Ruth Ginsburg or Dr. Ruth or Dr. Roos. Oh, hold on a second. I think they're back. Cat out there? No. Okay. All right. Or baby Ruth. I had a Saint Bernard named Samson. Does that count? Yeah. Yeah, but it's funny. When I was a kid, these people up the street, it was a young couple and they had a baby. And anyway, they had a pear tree, and we used to climb their pear tree and get what was old people first. We got all the pears we want. Then the new people were kind of weird about it. But they turned out to be okay. But I remember we put Mayday baskets on her. We made Mayday baskets and put it on her steps. We liked her, and anyway, we got to eat the pears and stuff. And what's weird? Well, anyway, they had a Saint Bernard. They had puppies, so we all grabbed a puppy, and I brought mine home. And my mom's like, "Oh heck no, we're not having a Saint Bernard." They knew somebody who had a Saint Bernard, and the thing, anyway, they knew how big it got, and they said something about it blasting through their screen door or something. I don't know. Anyway, I had to bring the puppy back. Anyway, you know what? Those people ended up winning the lottery. Is that weird or what? That was in the 70s. Back in the 70s, they won the lottery and moved. It was weird. Maybe 80s. 70s or 80s. No, it must have been 70s. But anyway, somehow they won a bunch of money. And they moved. But yeah, I had a Saint Bernard for about a few hours. I wanted to put a barrel under his neck. Yeah, how lucky. Yeah. Hopefully it was. You know how it is. Yeah, somehow they won a bunch of money and they moved out of there. It was a nice house, but a small house. But anyway, they moved into. Anyway, that's probably the only person I've known ever who has won about that much money, and just a neighbor. You know what I mean? But I've never known anybody personally who has won that much money, and I never saw anybody since. You know what I mean? Never saw anybody since personally. I mean, they have them on the news all the time. But I don't know. I think it's rigged nowadays. You know what I mean? Well, our one troll, yes, won the lottery with his very last dollar. Remember that? Yeah, that was a lie. Never believed that. I thought him and his dad both pitched in their last dollar, wasn't it? Yeah. Trolls be trolling. Yeah, very last dollar. Now, what kind of an idiot would take their last dollar and spend it on a lottery ticket? Well, you've never in your life seen anybody win. That doesn't, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's really hard to believe. Most people would buy like, I don't know, a pack of Kool-Aid or something. Try to get a loaf of bread or something. You ain't gonna, might as well throw it flush down the toilet. Anyway, yeah, so that was not a believable story. Nothing he said was believable. Yep, a lottery winner. A multi-millionaire, I tell you. Yeah. Yep. See, some people are such losers that they have to go online and pretend that there's something really super special, extraordinary special. You know what I'm saying? Catfish everybody. A troll who comes up with some amazing story. Yeah. Yep. Definitely a psychopath. You know what I mean? Definitely a psychopath. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you'd have to be. Yeah. They're all kind of alike. We know a lot of them. And that one could go for a long time with his persona. There's a few of them who hung on to the persona a long time, isn't it? Could have been the same person, switching from one persona to the next persona to the, you know what I'm saying? Anyway. So I hope y'all had a great, wonderful day. I did. I didn't go anywhere. Yeah, ego trip, no doubt. Oh, you got a lot of money. You must be something special. Wow. We all wish we were you. And if you're a male, all the females want to be with you. And if you're a female, all the males want to be with you. You have so much money. That's more of a guy thing, though. Mostly, you know what, right? I mean, have you ever seen any girls pretend they won the lottery or pretend they're filthy rich? No, they might pretend other stuff, but you know, I mean, it's a guy thing to pretend that they got a Harley or a sports car or a mansion, a lot of money. Uh, that's a guy thing. You know, girls have their girl things too. You know, and I'm saying that's not all guys, it's not all girls, but we know it happens. Pretty much catfish stuff. All right. Remember, Leviticus told you that catfish was unclean. Kitten enjoyed her special spa day, and she came home and played in the snow. Really? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, ours is actually we got some ours, we had some melting today. Some of the sunny spots melted through again. So, yeah. Getting here, Grace. I mean, 2 more weeks we're into May, right? Am I keeping you awake? I'm sorry. Anyway. As soon as I got this dog, whenever I kenneled him and put him in the little kennel because he was getting in training, so I put him in the little kennel at night when we go to bed, and he go like right away when he was a puppy. Anyway, he never stopped doing it. It's just louder and longer now. All right, kind of perfected it, huh? All right, I think. What am I at here? What percentage? Percentage enough to probably turn on my thing where I can see you guys, right? Why not? All right. Anyway, so didn't she her spotted? Isn't that where she gets all cleaned up, and then she come back and get all dirty? All right, so let me just show you real quick. We're gonna be on 9 and 10 tonight. There's only 12 chapters, so we're gonna be in 11 and 12 tomorrow. Finishing it up. It was a short book, but 2 4. Yeah. And then the rest of the week, what's tomorrow going to be? Tuesday? Oh, you know what? Yeah. I do have to drive down to the city this week. I'm going to that funeral. Somebody a friend's mom died. So anyway, I will be driving down to a funeral one of these days. So let's see. Tomorrow's Tuesday. We finished Tuesday. We got Wednesday and Thursday. Huh. I don't know. I guess I'll cross that path when I get there. But this will be done tomorrow. So I'm just thinking Wednesday. What are we going to do Wednesday? Anybody have any suggestions? Because we got to do something Wednesday and Thursday. And then Friday's going to be the open chat and Saturday and so on. So anyway, we'll have 2 days extra this week that normally we would be reading. So whatever that is, we'll figure that out. I could probably come up with a couple things. I've bookmarked some ideas of anyway, maybe we'll do that. So anyway, that's kind of some loose plans for this week. Tonight is Daniel and tomorrow. All right. All right, so let me bath, toothbrushing, nails clipped, that sort of thing. Really? My dogs would not go for that. Oh my goodness. I couldn't even get him out of the vehicle to bring him into the vet. I had to carry Caleb and he was bucking and bucking the whole time, and oh, it wasn't good. Sprout, I had to chorus him and it took a long time, and then Wazzy, he was all going crazy. He's never had a leash on. Only Sprout has had a leash on. The other 2 haven't, and they just go crazy. So anyway, I know somebody else who just brought their dog in to get groomed. Then she got all shampooed and her hair trimmed, and anyway. Troll says, morning guys, how's life? Well, life is good for me. I'll speak for myself. How you doing tonight, Troll? I hope you're having a good day. All right. So that is the plan, Stan. Grace says hi to Troll. All right, let me get the chat up. I'll pray us in and we will get started on Daniel. On Danielson. Oops, I keep hitting that thing. All right, don't need that. All right, so there is my chat. Looks kind of blurry. Is it blurry? Anyway. Maybe it is, maybe it ain't. Just make sure. I don't know, it kind of looks blurry, but my other phone's kind of cracked. So make sure the lens is clean. All right, looks good to me. All right, Heavenly Father, we thank you for this evening. We thank this evening's gathering. We thank you for all of our blessings. We thank you for providing all of our needs every day, including fellowship. And we ask for wisdom and understanding as we read Daniel tonight. We always seek knowledge of you. We give you praise for all good things. And we say a special prayer for Grace's brother, for healing. We say a special prayer for Tim's family, for their grief. We just say thank you for always hearing our prayers. Amen and amen. All right, guys. So, you guys, so I got this thing in the mail. It says that my driver's license is due for renewal. Okay. Driver's license is due for renewal. It's been 4 years. Every 4 years, you have to renew it. But in exactly 2 years, May of 2025, you will no longer be able to board, just an airplane. Not even talking about something with the passport going out of the country. I'm talking about international, just inside the United States. You can't get on an airplane or go into a federal building or courtroom without the new ID. It was called Real ID or something like that. What's it called? Real ID. So you have to have a real ID in 2 years from now. So, you know what I mean? Or you can't get on a plane, or you can't go in a courtroom or a federal building without it. Crazy, huh? Just got up and getting ready for work. Life's good, spring and all that good stuff. I know. Well, I wish you a wonderful day. Have an awesome day. And you know what? I am amped and pumped up because of spring myself. We just had 5 feet of snow, basically melt down to nothing. We see grass. The weather's nice. I'm getting the barbecue grill back out. Life is good, and I'm always excited in the spring. Been a long winter here. Lots of snow, and like a record amount of snow. So intrigued by that cult video you did. Going to be a sequel? Oh, we could do another one this weekend. Yeah. Yep. Because you know what? I wanted to draw to people's attention that most of the cults spring out of Christianity. And what is that? The New Testament. I mean, you don't even see Old Testament cults. You know, you don't see Old Testament cults. You don't see, especially the Doomsday. You know, Doomsday's ones mostly always come out of Christian too. But yeah, I just want people to see the connection there. It's very easy to cross over that line from Christian fellowship into a cult. You know what I mean? But anyway, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Troll. I really do. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I like feedback. They asked me if I wanted to register to vote when I got my license renewed. No thanks, but they automatically register me anyway. Why ask if it's done automatically? I don't know. I've never registered to vote in my life. I've never once registered to vote. So I will see if they automatically roll me. We have some weird ones here too. Yeah. Yeah. I suppose every country has their own hubs. We might not have heard the other people's counts. We have like the Charles Manson, of course, the Branch Davidian, Waco, Texas, David Koresh. There's been a lot of horror stories with that kind of stuff. Christian cults gone bad. You know what I mean? Ever heard of Cannot Be? No, I haven't. No, that's interesting. No. I will look it up. In fact, let me see if I can use the computer here. Municipality in Sweden. Oh, Cannot Be Murders. There you go. Yeah. Obey, kill. Yeah. Pray. Exactly. This is exactly what I'm talking about. This is look at, and that's just my point. Most of these cults, 9 out of 10 or 8 out of 10, came out of Christianity. You know what I mean? You can take that New Testament and do a number on people. You know what I mean? And because it's so, you know what? It's open for interpretation. That's why. Because it's open for interpretation. You can make anything you want out of it. And if you have some vulnerable people trapped somehow by you and or just desperate, you can turn that Bible into make, I don't know. They've had people kill and thinking that they're doing God's work. Pray, obey, and kill. So it looks like you could watch it. Well, there's a trailer anyway. Anyway, that's interesting. Pray. Oh, yeah, exactly. Pray. See, we had the same. We've had so many of these cults go end horribly wrong. A lot of them end in death. Look at Jim Jones, over 900 people. It says Pray, Obey, Kill is a Swedish-American co-produced documentary miniseries revolving around the Cannot Be murder and the investigation conducted by journalists. Throughout the documentary, ex-Cannot Be residents recall the physical violence, emotional abuse, and sexual exploitation, all easily identifiable. Huh. And it's so weird how so many people can be caught up. Like, not one of them would have done that stuff alone. It's just like when teenagers all go crazy and do a murder or whatever. It's a pack mentality. And so a pack mentality like can make a mob, or even say you go to a football game and everybody's drunk and your team wins or loses in the playoffs, and next they're all tipping police cars over and starting stuff on fire and climbing telephone poles. Well, none of them would have done that on their own. But you get it with people in the same mentality. You are a hive mentality. And I think the same thing happens in churches. You get caught up in stuff you'd never do by yourself. You wouldn't do that stuff by yourself, but you get with other people, you get caught up. I used to watch them. I still have some the murder documentaries. And these bunch of kids ended up killing the band teacher. Anyway, long story, but they're just caught up, you know what I mean? Outside Uppsala, not so not far from here. Really, this is hit close to home. It was hit close to home, huh? That is really weird when this stuff happens in somewhere you know and you're familiar. They're telling the story, and you've been to that store, and you've been to the over that to that park, and it's so weird when they're. I've seen those murder stories that happened in St. Paul, Minnesota, or Minneapolis, Minnesota, and thinking, "Wow, I've been right there." You know, it's just like it's weird when it's close to home. It's a little more real, that's for sure. Uh, like when the Twins won the World Series, they were so excited they rioting downtown. Were they? Yeah. Yeah, it was another hard time in my life. That was 87 to 91. There was two we won or I don't even want to say we. Minnesota won twice. I think it was wait a minute. It was 97. I can't remember. I just remember it wasn't a good time. The Twins winning. Uh, Not a lot. A few. I always relate things to like. I just went. You know what? Just the other day, I remember I told you I had to go down to Minneapolis. My drive. I put on 200 miles that day. I had to go down by Mall of America, and I had to go over that bridge, the 35E bridge that collapsed. And I remember when that happened. Me and Dave were shopping at Cub Foods, and my son worked there. And anyway, we had heard about it. It was like 6 o'clock at night. We were bagging up our groceries, and I don't know how we heard about it. And anyway, I remember. So during that time, that was like one of the best parts of my life. During the time when the 35E bridge fell. I mean, it was tragic, but so I kind of relate different events and like, oh, I remember that part of my life. They're kind of landmarks. Yeah, the Homer hankies. Give me a break. You see them at garage sales all the time or at Goodwill now. Everybody gave them up. Yeah, they do go crazy. You know, it's weird. They go crazy if they win. They go crazy when they lose. Like, why go crazy and wreck stuff when you win? I mean, isn't that what you wanted? Well, hey, D, how you doing tonight? Good to see you. Hope you had a wonderful, wonderful day. Hi, everyone listening with busy hands. All right, well, we're just glad to have you here. Good to see you tonight, D. Yeah, the Homer hankies. What a joke. Mm-hmm. Oh, that poor Kirby Puckett. He didn't fare too well. Yeah, anyway, I wouldn't even go into that. But I know so many people who came home on that bridge, including my hubby at the time. Yeah. Yeah, I just went over that bridge the other day, the new bridge they put up. It's not so new anymore. I mean, that was that's probably 15 years ago. But I just remember that moment like it was yesterday. I remember we were bagging groceries, and it was a beautiful day, beautiful summer day. And anyway, one of the happiest times in my life was when I was with Dave. Anyway, yeah. It's kind of weird. They put up this new bridge. They replaced it, and anyway, it's got these squiggly lights on it, and they have different color lights. And like when Prince died, it immediately had it lit up in purple. Like, wow, that was fast. Anyway, just weird. All right, so I bet there's a lot of murders in different. I have watched a lot of murder documentaries out of Canada. They made some awesome documentaries, but they're really hard to find on DVD. I like the Canadian stories. I like that. The Abbotsford murder. It was that was really weird. And then there's that the house hermit, this guy that used to find vacant houses out in the wilderness, people's cabins, and live up in the attic. Anyway, what's some weird stories? But anyway, I like the way Canada does their documentaries. I don't know. But they're hard to find, like I said. All right. All right. I think we're ready to go here. Wow, is that Happy Cat? What? Happy Cat, how are you doing? Wow, we have not seen you in ages. Good to see you tonight, Happy Cat. How you been? Wow. I hope you're doing well. Hope your family's doing good. Anyway, long time no see. We've not seen you in a long time. Anyway, I hope all is going good. Yeah, very long time. We've not seen you in ages. Yeah. Anyway, good to see you. Welcome back. I sure hope you've been doing well. Yeah. All right. Let me just try to open this up. And hopefully it won't be all blue. Is it blue? Try to adjust the color a little bit. All right. Hopefully that's not too blue TV looking-ish. All right. I think it's good. It's probably at about 150%. I got no audio working it. Okay. All right. Good enough? You guys can see that? All right. All right. So here we go with Daniel's. This is an interesting chapter. Like I said, I think every chapter is interesting. Trying to keep this plugged in while we do this. Oh, I have to stretch the cord a little bit. All right. Let's see. Yeah, let's see. We did 7 and 8 for sure, right? Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Tonight is 9 and 10. Let me just scroll. I think there's 28 verses. Can't remember. 27. All right. And this is about Daniel praying. You guys all know this story probably. You're good. You moved across the country. Awesome. Where were you from again? Where'd you live before? I forgot. I forgot where you were before. All right. All right. I think we're good. Yeah, where were you living before Happy Cat? I can't remember. All right. Daniel's prayer for his people. Daniel chapter 9. In the first year of Darius, the son of Ahasuerus, by descent a Mede. Got to get a move on. All right. Thanks for coming in tonight, Troll. It was nice seeing you. Looking forward to the sequel. All right. Have a good one, guys. You have a good one too. Have an awesome day. Thanks for coming in. It was nice seeing you this morning. He's already into Tuesday morning. All right. Have a good day at work. All right, guys. We are doing Daniel's prayer for his people. By the way, this is the Blue Letter Bible with a little extra blue in it. And and the English Standard Version. Yeah, awesome. You too, Joe. Good to see you, Joe. Have a good day. Yep. Awesome. It's nice seeing him. All right. In the first year of Darius, the son of Ahasuerus, by descent a Mede, who was made king over the realm of the Chaldeans. In the first year of his reign, I, Daniel, perceived in the books the number of years that, according to the word of the Lord to Jeremiah the prophet, must pass before the end of the desolations of Jerusalem, namely 70 years. And actually, did they have, oh, they should have clipped that. Now that they should have put up here, Jeremiah's quote, because Jeremiah, remember, he prophesied, I don't know, decades before this, that people from Jerusalem would be brought into, Jerusalem would be overtaken and destroyed, and then like all the people would be brought into Babylon. Babylon would do it, and Babylon would take these people into captivity for 70 years. And we showed on the timeline before we started this that I can't remember the years, 550, I can't remember. But we showed when we started this Daniel in the day before we started, the timeline that we were in. So Jeremiah had just done his prophecies, and one of Jeremiah's prophecies was it was going to be 70 years. So that's why he just quoted Jeremiah. Probably here's where I left off. Probably anyway, he's informing, namely 70 years. So he already knows, and if they're teenagers, that means they're going to be in their 80s when they get out. Then I turned my face to the Lord, seeking him by prayer and pleas for mercy, with fasting and sackcloth and ashes. So let's see. All right, so he cries out to God with this is what he done: prayer, pleading for mercy, with fasting and sackcloth and ashes. I prayed to the Lord my God and made confession, saying, quote, O Lord, the great and awesome God, who keeps covenant and steadfast love with those who love him and keep his commandments. We have sinned and done wrong and acted wickedly and rebelled, turning aside from your commandments and rules. We have not listened to your servants, the prophets, who spoke in your name to the kings, our princes, and our fathers, and to all the people of the land. To you, O Lord, belongs righteousness, but to us open shame, as at this day to the men of Judah, to the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and to all Israel, those who are near and those who are far away, in all the lands to which you have driven them, because of the treachery that they have committed against you. To us, O Lord, belongs open shame, to our kings, to our princes, to our fathers, because we have sinned against you. To the Lord our God, belong mercy and forgiveness, for we have rebelled against him and have not obeyed the voice of the Lord our God by walking in his laws, which he set before us by his servants, the prophets. All Israel has transgressed your law and turned aside, refusing to obey your voice, and the curse and oath that are written in the law of Moses, the servant of God, have been poured out upon us, because we have sinned against him. He has confirmed his words, which he spoke against us and against our rulers who ruled us. Footnote says, or our judges who judged us. By bringing upon us a great calamity. For under the whole heaven there has not been done anything like what has been done against Jerusalem. As it is written in the law of Moses, all this calamity has come upon us. Yet we have not entreated the favor of the Lord our God, turning from our iniquities and gaining insight by your truth. Therefore, the Lord has kept ready the calamity and has brought it upon us. For the Lord our God is righteous in all the works that he has done, and we have not obeyed his voice. And now, our Lord our God, O Lord our God, who brought our people out of the land of Egypt with a mighty hand, and have made a name for yourself, as at this day we have sinned, we have done wickedly. O Lord, according to all your righteous acts, let your anger and your wrath turn away from your city, Jerusalem, your holy hill, because of our sins and the iniquities of our fathers. Jerusalem and your people have become a byword among all who are around us. Now, therefore, O our God, listen to the prayer of your servant and to his pleas for mercy, and for your own sake, O Lord. In the Hebrew it says, for the Lord's sake, make your face shine upon your sanctuary, which is desolate. Oh my God, incline your ear and hear. Open your eyes and see our desolations and the city that is called by your name. Wait a minute. What do you mean city called by your name? The city is Jerusalem. Is that God's name? What's going on here? Okay, Daniel's praying to God. All right, because everything is shambles. Oh God, incline your ear and hear. Open your eyes and see our desolations. Okay, this is talking about the temple of Jerusalem. Well, Jerusalem and the temple and everything. And the city that is called by your name. Jerusalem, is that God's name? I don't know that. For we do not present our pleas before you because of our righteousness, but because of your great mercy. O Lord, hear. O Lord, forgive. O Lord, pay attention and act. Delay not for your own sake. Oh my God, because your city and your people are called by your name. There it is again. The city is called by, Jerusalem's called by his name. Oh. Interesting. All right, here's where Gabriel comes in. Enter Gabriel. Gabriel brings an answer. While I was speaking and praying, confessing my sin and the sin of my people Israel, and presenting my plea before the Lord my God for the holy hill of my God. While I was speaking in prayer, the man Gabriel, whom I had seen in the vision at the first, came to me in swift flight at the time of the evening sacrifice. He made me understand, speaking with me and saying, quote, O Daniel, I have now come out to give you insight and understanding. At the beginning of your pleas for mercy, a word went out, and I have come to tell it to you, for you are greatly loved. Therefore, consider the word and understand the vision. Here's your 70 weeks prophecy. That is interesting. Look at the footnote on this. What language is this? Okay, 70 weeks, because remember, that's everybody, everything's about 70 weeks, right? Which is 70 years, right? It's supposed to be. Well, they say it's 70 years. People interpret it 70 years. But anyway, 70 weeks. But in here, it says, as other translations say sevens. So sevens are decreed about your people in your holy city to finish the transgression, to put an end to sin, and to atone for iniquity, to bring an everlasting righteousness, to seal both vision and prophet, and to anoint a most holy place. Footnote says a most holy thing or the most holy one. Know, therefore, and understand that from the going out of the word to restore and build Jerusalem to the coming of the anointed one. All right, they're talking about the Messiah, a prince. There shall be 7 weeks. Then for 62 weeks it shall be built again. I can't see the footnote. It shall be built again. Footnote says, or it could also say, there shall be 7 weeks and 62 weeks it shall be built again. With squares and a moat, but in a troubled time. Now it was rebuilt. It was, they were released, and they did go back, and it was rebuilt. So this is prophecy fulfilled already. It's already been fulfilled, but anyway. And after 62 weeks, an anointed one shall be cut off and shall have nothing. And the people of the prince who is to come shall destroy the city and the sanctuary. Its, footnote says, or his end shall come with a flood, and to the end there shall be war. Desolations are decreed. And he shall make a strong covenant with many for 1 week, or 7 twice in this. Okay, so it could be both times they say week. That could be for 1/7, 1 week or 1/7, or a half of the week or 7. He shall put an end to sacrifice and offering. And on the wing of abominations shall come one who makes desolate, until the decreed end is poured out on the desolator. I did a video one time. There's maybe it was a live stream, but I've talked about this before. There was, if you do count 7, I can't remember how I did it. 7 times 70, or 70. Wait, if you did 70 years, whatever it was, however we did the math, it came out to right when Jesus came at the turn of the century, which he did. I mean, he did warn about them misusing the temple. Not of course, the new temple's built, right? And Jesus is there in 33 AD or whatever. Well, within 40 years, less than 40, like 30 something years, 40 years, you might as well say. Within 40 years, the temple is destroyed. And that's what Jesus came to warn about, using the temple as a slaughterhouse to get rich. Everybody's getting rich off of it. Had nothing to do with God or prayer or anything at that point. Probably, most churches don't. It's a business. I wish people would understand that. My dad told me the other day, he's having trouble with certain parts of the Bible. I bought him a Bible back in 2016 when I started reading. Nice big large print, and he reads it every day. A little bit out Old Testament, a little bit out New Testament. He says, "Yeah, there's some things," and he brought up, and I said, "Absolutely." There's some things that I say that's not my God. That's not my God. My God does not do these certain things, and I agree. And once you realize that and study, you'll figure out that the Old Testament is written by 5 different sources, at least a minimum of 5. You got the J source, the D source, the Yahweh source. You got all these sources, and that's why you got all these stories that conflict each other. Even doublets, two people telling the same story but mixing up the details, and that's why you got different people. They're calling God different names. They call him God, they call him Yahweh, they call him Jehovah, they call him Abba. Why do you think they're calling it? No explanation. That's because it's a hodgepodge, a bunch of different, and then you got a source for that absolutely hates women, sees them as nothing but objects and something for barter and possessions, and they got their stuff in there too. So when you get to their readings and stuff, you think, "Whoa, this is rough, brutal." And then you get to other things, and then you got the priestly source, where they're just saying, "Hey, slaughter animal for this, slaughter animal for that, slaughter an animal for that." That's pretty much their contributions, telling you to slaughter an animal for just waking up in the morning, for something you might do or haven't done, or might do or didn't do. Slaughter an animal. So I said, so you got all these contributions in there. Yeah, you got different people, different worshiping different gods, all putting it in the same bundle there. And it's not till you really go over and over and over and over and over until you start to say, "Hey, wait a minute, something's wrong here." Anyway, so I tell my dad, I think what comes down to, I know I would just cringe if somebody would have told me this a few years ago, but I think it comes down to be a good person, love one another, love each other, do unto others if you had done unto you. I mean, treat other people the way you want to be treated. Care for the people less fortunate than you. Help out the poor. All that stuff. That's how God wants you to serve. Don't lie, cheat, steal, and all that kind of stuff. Anyway. So this is chapter 10, the second and final chapter for tonight. It's looking at the footnotes, sneak peeking at the footnotes. Anyway, so this is chapter 10. All right, and so this is about Daniel's terrifying vision of a man. All right, so Daniel chapter 10. Daniel's terrifying vision of a man. In the 3rd year of Cyrus, king of Persia, a word was revealed to Daniel, who was named Belshazzar. And the word was true, and it was a great conflict. Footnote says, Footnote says, and it was about a great conflict. That's what and he understood the word and had understanding of the vision. In those days, Daniel, by the way, this is what a lot of books in the Bible are lacking, particularly, and I mean particularly the New Testament for sure. You see how many little contradictions this book has? It means it probably had one author. Because even one person can write a book and have contradictions with their own stuff. I mean, look at Luke. Hello. Look at Luke and Acts. Good example. But there is one author that's why there. But anyway, this is what most of them are lacking. Nobody tells who's writing the book. Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. Well, Luke says, I'm writing to you, O Theophilus, or whatever anyway, still, he addresses the receiver of the letter, but nobody, I don't know if any book in the New Testament says, I, blank, am writing this book. Well, at least Daniel does that. Daniel is one of the few books that says, I, Daniel, all right, this person is that they're writing this. All right. I noticed that right away when I started reading the four Gospels. I'm like, well, who's talking? Because you know what? When you get a Bible, when I got my Bible in 2016, I already had a Bible. I grew up in church and all that. When I got confirmed, they gave me a Bible, really nice one. Well, when my daughter got married, I gave her my Bible, and anyway, so I bought a new Bible in 2016, the beginning of 2016. Bought my dad one too. Bought a lot of them. You guys might remember. I bought a lot of those nice Bibles. But yeah, 70 years is a lifetime. But anyway, well, here's the Daniel fast. All right, there's a Daniel fast. But anyway, that's one of the things I first noticed when I got back into the Bible, is that nobody's okay. So I started at the beginning. I mean, I wanted to read everything in the Bible. I started with the very first page. I didn't go to Genesis 1. I started the first page and started reading. One of the first things that I had a reference Bible, and so for first thing, one of the first pages, I read everything, the copyright, everything. I mean, I read every word from the beginning. I didn't want to miss nothing. But one of the very first things it tells you in the King James Bible that I had, hopefully all Bibles will tell you, and I always remembered it. It said, just remember two things. Always remember two things when you're reading this Bible. Who's writing it? Who's writing? Who's the author? Right? Number one. And number two is, who are they writing it to? Is it to you? Is it to the Jewish people? Is it to, a bad guy or whatever? But they said, just remember, always think that anytime you read in the Bible, remember two things: who's writing it and who are they talking to? And I always remembered that. And I always noticed that most of these books doesn't say who's writing it. And I really noticed in the Gospels. Gospels doesn't say anything who's writing anything. Then you find out they're not even disciples. There's no disciple named Mark or Luke. Their name isn't even mentioned in the Bible. Anyway. All right, I don't want to get too far off track because I already have. What am I at? 108? Okay. All right, let's do this. Last chapter tonight. Daniel's terrifying vision of a man. In the third year of Cyrus, king of Persia, as a word was revealed to Daniel. This is the Daniel fast, who is named Belshazzar. And the word was true. And it was a great conflict, or it was about a great conflict. And he understood the word and had understanding of the vision. In those days, I, Daniel, was mourning for 3 weeks. I ate no delicacies, no meat or wine entered my mouth, nor did I anoint myself at all for the full 3 weeks. On the 24th day of the first month, as I was standing on the bank of the great river, that is the Tigris River, I lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a man clothed in linen, with a belt of fine gold from Uphaz around his waist. His body was like beryl. His face was like the appearance of lightning. His eyes like flaming torches. His arms and legs like the gleam of burnished bronze. And the sound of his words were like the sound of a multitude. Does this sound familiar, anybody? Sound familiar? This was also what the book of Revelation took out. Same thing. His face was bright or whatever. Eyes, arms, and feet were like burned in a bronze, burned in a furnace. And and they said his voice was like the multitude of, or like rushing water. Anyway, sounds like the same. And I, Daniel, see, I like that. He's telling who's writing this thing. I am. And I, Daniel, you won't see that in the New Testament. I, Daniel, alone saw the vision. For the men who were with me did not see the vision, but a great trembling fell upon them, and they fled to hide themselves. Wow, that kind of sounds like the book of Acts, one of Paul's stories. Remember? He saw it, he heard it, but somehow everybody else fell to the ground. All right, so I was left alone and saw this great vision, and no strength was left in me. My radiant appearance was fearfully changed, and I retained no strength. In Hebrew, it says, my splendor was changed to ruin. Yeah, it was fearfully changed. Yeah, same thing, I guess. Then I heard the sound of his words, and as I heard the sound of his words, I fell on my face in deep sleep with my face to the ground. And behold, a hand touched me. Here we go again. This is right. This is what Revelation did. John the Revelator fell on his face as dead when he saw this guy with flames and everything. Falls on his face as dead. And then Jesus touches him and says, what does he say? Behold, I can't remember. I was alive and I was dead. Now I'm alive. I can't remember. I used to have it memorized. If I had the music flowing, I would probably replay it in my head. But and the music, sorry. And behold, a hand touched me, and set me trembling on my hands and knees. And he said to me, quote, "O Daniel, man greatly loved, understand the words that I speak to you, and stand upright, for now I have been sent to you." And when he had spoken this word to me, I stood up trembling. Then he said to me, same as he said to John, fear not, John. Fear not, Daniel. Same thing Jesus said in Revelation, fear not, for I'm dead and now I'm alive, or whatever he said. You know what he said. Fear not, Daniel. By the way, we did go through the book of Revelation, verse by verse. It took days, verse by verse, and 90% of it has been plucked randomly, cherry-picked out of the Old Testament, just like this. Every paragraph almost had a reference, word for word, out of the Old Testament. Not like, oh, I'm quoting the book of Daniel. No, like taking this line for their own story in this paragraph. Anyway. It got so redundant that after like several chapters, like, wow, we get the point. But we went through the whole thing. It took days. But still, it was so redundant that, wow, here we go. You couldn't get one paragraph without saying, yep, this is from Daniel, this is from Ezekiel. You know what I mean? All Old Testament prophecy, just like, almost like the smorgasbord, like a buffet. Like you took a plate and some tongs, and you just went down and grabbed a little from Daniel and a little bit, from Isaiah and a little from Ezekiel, and just made a big salad. Anyway. Then he said to me, quote, "Fear not, Daniel, for from the first day that you set your heart to understand and humbled yourself before God, your words have been heard, and I have come because of your words." All right. In case anybody doesn't know this story, I just fill people in because they kind of talked. So Daniel's praying and praying and praying, fasting, hardly eating nothing good, just whatever, vegetables. And he's praying his sackcloth and crying out to God and ashes and sackcloth, all that stuff. and nothing's happening for 3 weeks. No answer. So anyway, that's where we're at. And then finally the answer comes through and he tells why it took so long. All right. And behold, a hand touched me and sent me trembling on my hands and knees. Okay. There's his answer. And he said to me, "O Daniel, man greatly loved, understand the words that I speak to you and stand upright. For now I have been sent to you." And when he had spoken this word to me, I stood up trembling. Then he said to me, quote, "Fear not, Daniel. From the first day that you set your heart to understand and humbled yourself before God, your words have been heard. And I have come because I heard your words, because of your words." Now here you go. "The prince of the kingdom of Persia withstood me 21 days. Is this a spirit or whatever that something was holding him back? "The prince of the kingdom of Persia withstood me 21 days. But Michael," the archangel Michael, "one of the chief princes, came to help me, for I was left there with the kings of Persia, and came to make you understand what is to happen to your people in the latter days. For the vision is for days yet to come." When he had spoken to me according to these words, I turned my face toward the ground and was mute. And behold, one in the likeness of the children of man touched my lips. Now, Revelation has one that says like the Son of Man. Okay, same thing. Children of man, Son of Man. And behold, like the likeness of the children of man touched my lips. And I opened my mouth and spoke. I said to him who stood before me, quote, "O my Lord, by reason of the vision pains have come upon me, I retain no strength. How can my Lord's servant talk with my Lord? For now no strength remains in me, and no breath is left in me." Again, one having the appearance of a man touched me and strengthened me. And he said, quote, "O man greatly loved, fear not, peace be with you. Be strong and of good courage." And as he spoke to me, I was strengthened and said, "Let my Lord speak, for you have strengthened me." And he said, quote, "Do you know why I have come to you? But now I will return to fight against the prince of Persia. And when I go out, behold, the prince of Greece will come." Greece has a prince, Persia has a prince. "But I will tell you what is inscribed in the book of truth. There is none who contends by my side against these except Michael, your prince." So, and that's 10, and we'll leave it there because tomorrow is the last 2 chapters. But it is kind of in the middle of that story. But anyway, so he prayed. God heard his prayers, but the angel couldn't get through, so he had to get some help. Shut that up. I should keep Gabriel up, I guess. There we go. All right. And that will do it. Where are we at? 119. Okay, that'll work, I guess. Oh, that's another thing. You're welcome. You're welcome, ladies. That's another thing. Do you know what else I noticed years ago when I first started reading the Gospels in the New Testament? I noticed they never used the word I. Like, I saw Jesus do this, or Jesus told me to do this and that. There's nobody saying I, and I thought, well, maybe they're just being like modest or want to be anonymous. Doesn't make no sense. Anyway, I always ask myself, okay, who's the speaker and who are they talking to? Are they talking to me? And that's really helped me. Like I said, I've never read a book from the first page. Usually I skip to chapter 1, right? Forget all that other stuff. Anyway, that was a good, helpful hint. Well, you're welcome, ladies. And anything else? Otherwise, I'll wrap it up. Tomorrow we finish, you guys. Tomorrow we're finishing Daniel's son. And yeah. So thank you guys for being here with us. And I will pray us out. And unless anybody has anything else you want to say, we'll finish it up and wrap it up tomorrow. Finish for tonight. Tomorrow's Tuesday the 18th. All right. All right, cool. I'm trying to think, is there something else I want to say? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. All right. Special prayer for Mrs. Artie. Yes. Yes. You know, I did give her my, it's been probably a month, right? Since she asked me for my email address, which I gave to her, and she never emailed me, and we haven't seen her since. Does she still post videos, or does she still have a channel, or no? I think she's had a channel taken down. At least one. You know who else's channel I could not find? It was Chris's channel. Chris K. I couldn't find his channel today. I was gonna stop over there and spread some love and say hi, and couldn't find his channel for nothing. Yeah. Otherwise, I think that's about it. You haven't seen anything posted? Does she have a channel? Does Mrs. RD still have a channel where? I know for a while she was doing posting videos. I'll send you the link. Oh, okay. Oh, she does? Okay. Maybe I'll go on her channel and see if she'll. Thank you for reading to us. You're welcome. You're welcome, Happy. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Heavenly Father, thank you for gathering us once again. We just, we thank you for these gatherings every evening, and we thank you for hearing our prayers, and we say a special prayer for Mrs. RD. We pray that she is safe and pray that everything's okay. Amen. Yep. All right. Yes, Grace, is good to see you. Happy Cat. Yep. And anybody else? Mr. and Mrs. Chazy, Pinch, anybody else who listens on the replay? Thanks for listening on the replay. And say good night to everybody. Good night, everybody. D, Grace, Happy. Anybody else? Oh, we had Troll in here. Good to see Troll tonight. And anybody else that came in? Did I miss somebody? I don't know. Anyway, all right, guys. Love you all. All right. All right, you guys. I love you all. Have a great rest of the evening. Sleep good, and I hope to see you tomorrow night. Good night, everybody. Shalom. Glory to God. Hallelujah.